I shouldn't be smiling. I shouldn't be smiling because there was something very devastating that happened. I don't know if you guys heard. Extremely devastating incident. Someone came up to Ilhan Omar and jumped up, sprayed her with some unidentified liquid during her town hall last night. Sprayed her with an unknown substance. Oh my gosh, this is, wow. Very, very scary situation. I'm just saying, clearly she's under attack. Maybe we should send her back to Somalia, for her own safety. I'm thinking of her. I'm thinking of Ilhan Omar's safety, and I couldn't bear the thought of anything bad happening to her. We should help her get out of harm's way by sending her back to Somalia. Except, this whole thing really stinks. And I want to lay out some of the pieces for you. And then I want to let you guys decide. You tell me in the comments, is this real? Was this staged? It just seems very, very strange. So let's watch the video with sound again.
Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
Whoa. She just lunged at him like, that's weird.
I need a napkin to know nothing. No, we will continue. No. Ilhan, you need to go get checked. No, we will continue. These assholes are not going to get away with it. You need to go get checked. No, you don't know what. That's whatever it is smells so bad. She needs to go get checked. I don't know what that was. That's what they want. Please don't let them know. It's not about him, Ilhan. It's not about him. It's about your safety. No, he sprayed something on you. You need to go get checked. Yeah, and it smells terrible. We're going to keep talking.
Doesn't smell worse than Somalian food, I can tell you that.
I beg you. Please don't let them have the show. Please don't let them have the show.
Look, another view, another camera angle. Okay, listen, I obviously don't like political violence. I think that it's terrible anytime that it happens. I don't think anyone should get attacked over their political views, but I'm not sure that that's what this was. And I'm certainly very, very, very not sure. Actually, I am sure that this person, they keep saying this person is MAGA. We'll get to that in a minute. But this entire incident, you tell me, it seems totally, totally staged. You've got multi-cameras. Okay, you've got like different angles. The guy just happened to be in the front row closest to her. And all he wanted to do, he went to all that effort, all those hours that he probably waited just to make sure that he had just the right spot to just pew, 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 like a water gun. That doesn't make any sense. Also, don't let it be lost on you. They're sending out their people to put bullets in our necks. And this guy was like, pew, 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 with a little syringe. And on top of that, I'm just saying, if I'm giving a speech, which I do, and someone squirts an unknown substance on me, I'm not ready to throw hands. She very aggressively, what was she going to do? Punch him? I'm not doing that. I'm letting my security handle that, which they already were doing. So there was no reason for her to be so aggressive. I don't actually believe that Ilhan Omar, when she doesn't know what's happening, she doesn't know who it is, she doesn't know what's being squirted on her, she doesn't know if it's some poisonous substance, and she's like, no, I won't let the bullies win. The bullies won't win. That's just so unbelievable to me. That's really unbelievable to me that he could have sprayed her with literally, that could have been poison, that could have been acid, that could have been urine, that could have been semen, that could have been any type of foreign substance that you would not want on you. And you're like, no, I'm going to continue. And all the people around her are like, Ilhan, Ilhan, you really should stop. You really should go to the bathroom. Ilhan. And she's like, no. Also, like, if it was an unknown substance that you didn't know what it was, you would immediately understand that you could be putting other people in the room at risk as well. Like, what if inhaled, it causes a problem? So now you're putting everyone at risk because you want to take this big dramatic stand. Also, on top of that, we're hearing from sources that Hazmat said the liquid was apple cider vinegar. So you go there, you get your big break, you wait to be seated right in front where you have easy access before security can shut you down, and the substance that you choose out of all the substances that are out there is apple cider vinegar. I don't believe any of this for a moment. I just don't. I have a hard time believing this. Now, the mainstream media, as you would expect, are just like fawning all over her, falling all over themselves to try to paint her as she had her hero moment. It just so happened that they had multi-camera angles, that her people were ready to insist that she leave the room. And she was like, after she decided not to beat the shit out of this guy, I guess, she was like, no, the show must go on. So now she's the new hero, the new martyr of the mainstream media. I don't let bullies win, says U.S. Congressman Omar after substance thrown at her. I wouldn't say the substance was thrown. It was more of a pew, 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 pew. It was not thrown. Trump continues to rail against Ilhan Omar after Minneapolis town hall attack. And listen, he's not buying this whole thing either at all. When asked about it by ABC News, he said, I don't think about her. She's a fraud. She probably had herself sprayed knowing her, which, to his point, she does have a history of lies and fraudulent behavior. Now, the other weird part of this story is the suspect. Let's talk about this guy for a moment. His name is Anthony Kazmierzak. He is 55 years old, and he doesn't appear to have ever been charged with a violent crime in Minnesota. Now, he was twice convicted of a DUI. He has 2 children, and he was married and divorced twice. But here's what starts getting really strange, okay? He planned it ahead, apparently, because now we're seeing from the New York Post, alleged Ilhan Omar attacker hinted at town hall plans in cryptic texts to neighbor, I might get arrested. So he was texting his neighbor to see if he's like, hey, can you please look after my dog? Because something might happen and I might be gone for a couple of days and I just need to know that old Fido's okay. All right. Well, then you have the left that they want so badly. They want so badly to be able to pin some sort of political violence on the right. They see what's happening where, like they have Antifa cells whose entire mission is to obstruct ICE and create chaos and threaten their safety. And they see what happened to Charlie Kirk when he was assassinated in broad daylight. And they see the fact that President Trump, of course, got a bullet in his ear. And they're like, oh, God, we really need some of the political violence to be on the right. So they just they just take some liberties. That's all. They just take some creative liberties in this. And so now the suspect is definitely MAGA. It's definitely MAGA. Man arrested in the attack on Ilhan Omar is a convicted felon who made pro-Trump posts. Uh-oh. Now, what are those pro-Trump posts? Well, I'm going to read you the quotes from the article. Now, we haven't been able to actually find them. We have not been able to find where these posts are. So you're actually already taking the word of the author of this article. I'd just like to start with that. So take that for what it's worth. But they say he made comments critical of former President Joe Biden and referred to Democrats as angry and liars, which I don't think you have to be pro-Trump to say, hey, I think Joe Biden is actually dead. Like, I think they're propping him up. I think he's Weekend at Bernie's president. That would be a criticism of Joe Biden. And that would, make him pro-Trump? I don't know. George Clooney was saying things like this. So I don't know how that would make him pro-Trump. But let's go on. Okay. He said, and I'm reading this verbatim, I realize it is not a correct sentence. I can't help that the suspect has bad grammar. All right. Trump wants the U.S. is stronger and more prosperous. Stop other countries from stealing from us. Bring back fear that the enemies back away from, and gain respect that if anyone threatens ourselves or friends, we will expletive them up. I think I can piece together what that expletive was, which again is pro-America. I wouldn't say it's like MAGA. I wouldn't say it's pro-Trump. It's just pro-America. It's wanting a strong America. And then in another post, he asked, when will descendants of slaves pay restitution to Union soldiers and families for freeing them, dying for them, and not sending them back to Africa? Again, does Trump have like this pro-slavery policy that I'm unaware of that would tie him to that post? Because I don't know what that has to do with Trump. Also, another wrinkle, big Ukraine supporter, apparently. He was very excited that his stickers came in May 2022 or March 2022. His stickers came. His Stand With Ukraine stickers came. Yay, they were only $5. That doesn't really sound super pro-MAGA, pro-Trump. I mean, we saw the way President Trump manhandled Vladimir Zelensky when he came to the White House. He had his staffers eat his damn meal. They kicked him out before he could even eat his food. He's like, yeah, just let the staffers eat it. That's fine. It's actually one of my favorite stories about President Trump. So I don't know what makes him pro-Trump or pro-MAGA, but that's what you're going to read if you read the mainstream media. When you do just a basic amount of digging, you're like, that doesn't sound right. Also, photos of him and his children. Uh-oh. Blue hair. Uh-oh. Blue hair found. Uh-oh. Crazy red orange hair found. And apparently they are both LMNOP pronoun people. One labels herself as queer. Both of them use they pronouns. Yes, just like every MAGA mom and dad. We just have these they, them kids who label themselves as all sorts of weird things you can't be. They, that, I still haven't figured it out. Yes, definitely a MAGA dad. I am sure that that's the case. Now, another strange little blip, little wrinkle, and I will say this could change. Only time will tell. But as of right now, he was not formally charged. He was not formally charged or scheduled for an initial court appearance as of like right before the time of this taping today, this afternoon. The Hennepin County Attorney's Office has until Thursday to charge him. They could seek an extension, and maybe they will. But as you can see, go back to that, Stephen. As you can see on all of this information from the jail, they're holding him on probable cause of assault. So they're saying what the crime is. I believe it's like third-degree assault. But they're only holding him on probable cause. Why? The whole thing was on camera, on multiple different cameras, multiple different angles. I don't understand why he has not received formal charges yet. So again, they have until tomorrow to do something about that. Maybe that changes. But until then, it is very strange that a congresswoman had an unknown substance squirted on her. And they have the guy, they got it on camera, and they're still holding him on probable cause. That's weird. Also, I haven't seen any, maybe I missed it. You guys tell me again in the comments. I haven't seen any media pick up that Ilhan Omar filed a police report, a report with the FBI. I don't know. It just seems weird because, I mean, it could be a crime if she wasn't involved in it. If she has to tell them that she was attacked and she wasn't involved, well, that could be a false report if she ends up actually being involved. It's in 18 U.S. Code 1001. So it basically says, I mean, you guys can read it right here, but if you willingly falsify, conceal, or cover up by any trick, scheme, or device, a material fact, or make any false, fictitious, or fraudulent statements or representations, or make or use any false writing or document knowing the same to contain any false, fictitious, or fraudulent statement shall be fined or imprisoned, not more than 5 years. Honestly, You could just send her back to Somalia. You don't have to actually go through the trouble of imprisoning her. So we'll see if the police report emerges. We'll see if she puts her name on the paper and signs it. It just seems really strange, okay? It's just weird with a lady who has a history of lying, of committing fraud, of marrying her brother, of changing her birth date. And it tracks with like the visa that she got to come here with her dad. It just seems really strange, not to mention the timing of it all. The timing of it all just so happened right off the heels of Trump announcing that she is being investigated with regard to her finances. New York Post Representative Ilhan Omar investigated by DOJ, Congress over ballooning net worth, Trump says. So he called her out on a Truth Social post and said that her net worth is reportedly now over $44 million. Now, again, I always like to preface anything related to math with like, I'm not a mathematician. I don't claim to be brilliant in math, but I do think that if you make $174,000 a year on a congressional salary, that math ain't mathin'. So where are you getting all of this money, Ilhan? Seems a little strange. So she, of course, responded, "Sorry, Trump. Your support is collapsing and you're panicking. Right on cue, you're deflecting." I feel like I can do better than that.
When she become Indian?
Listen, I'm down the rabbit hole on that one, okay? Forgive me. You're deflecting from your failures with lies and conspiracy theories about me. Years of investigations have found nothing. Get your goons out of Minnesota. I feel like I ended strong.
You did. You got it at the end.
I ended.
You're down the rabbit hole too much. People don't understand.
God, they really don't understand if they only saw my inbox. Holy moly. Hey, there you are.
Got it. Yeah, it's unfrozen. It thawed out.
If they only saw my inbox, which like Steven's constantly like, what are you on your phone? I'm like, I just got another H1B tip. I gotta review it.
Can I say a little aside on that? Because of you being at home and having to get your stuff set up, I was in your email trying to find stuff. You had like 700 unread emails, and it was too much for me.
Yeah, Steven can't handle. He's got like OCD. He has to check it immediately. He can't handle the unread, which I know a lot of people are like that. I too used to be like that, and then finally I let it get so bad that I was like, I'm never gonna get caught up. I just have to decide I'm just gonna be this person who's never gonna get caught up and clear all of my new mail. So Ilhan Omar wants to talk about conspiracy theories. And it's just strange because, I don't know, I feel like the entirety of the left tried to claim that President Trump wasn't actually shot in the ear at all. It was staged. You had it was just a rubber bullet. You had, actually the whole thing was staged. And he just so happened to turn to one side and ended up saving it. It was that close, but they staged it. And then it was just a shard of glass, like Christopher Wray said.
I think with respect to former President Trump, there's some question about whether or not it's a bullet or shrapnel that hit his ear. So it's conceivable. Although, as I sit here right now, I don't know whether that bullet, in addition to causing the grazing, could have also landed somewhere else.
Which is actually so incredibly disrespectful to the family of the man who was killed by the bullet. But it's another day in lefty utopia where they're allowed to say whatever they want. They're allowed to say things didn't happen. I guess maybe Charlie Kirk is still alive too, right? Conspiracy theories only exist on the right, and also they're never true, right? President Trump being shot with the Secret Service confirmed, not true, didn't happen, I guess. Hunter Biden's laptop, not true. Didn't happen, except it did. I mean, we all saw the pictures. Oh, and by the way, he sued over a laptop that I guess didn't exist. But I was reliably informed by 50 former Intel people that it definitely was a Russia hoax. Except, of course, we all know how that turned out. Joe Biden's mental decline, total conspiracy theory. COVID-19 being manufactured in the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Yeah, right. It was just bat soup. I mean, I could go on for days. The Russiagate Steele dossier fabrication, The big tech collusion with the government, censorship of conservatives, just another conspiracy theory, total conspiracy theory until they weren't. Until they weren't. And if it is such a conspiracy theory, I'd like to know why the Biden regime was looking into her as well. Oh, isn't that interesting? Under Biden administration, Justice Department began examining Ilhan Omar's finances. And that from the New York Times says a whole hell of a lot. A whole hell of a lot that the New York Times would feel forced enough to admit to that. By the way, her net worth has reportedly increased by 3,500% since 2023. Just 3,500, though. It could have been 36.
Did you say 3,500?
3,500% since 2023. But it could have been 4,000. Could have been higher. I'm breaking Steven's brain right now.
I was literally thinking, that's got to be like a record. How's that?
Listen, okay, well, let me tell you, Ilhan Omar is hard at work, Steven. She is very hard at work. She had an interest in a winery in 2023, which was worth between $15,000 to $50,000, which is already kind of wow, you guys couldn't narrow it down a little bit more than 15 to 50. But the next year, curiously enough, business exploded to between $1 million and $5 million. That is quite the marketing, I guess. Now, our friend Benny Johnson did some digging into the company, and here's what he found.
What is Est Crew? We are winemakers and memory curators, okay? Est Crew Winery has a bunch of brands that's led by these people, creators of eye-catching labels. So I'm sure I can go and get some of their wine, right? Well, they don't have any activities here.
Let's go ahead and give them a call and find out. Oh no, user busy.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Well, I've done this like 20 times today.
Okay, so that didn't work. Is there any wine in this wine company? Is there anything about wine? Because I see stuff about events, but what is this exactly? Aren't you supposed to sell wine at your wine company? Where are your wines? Oh, there are no wines. You want to know why? Because this is a fake company.
Wow, it's giving H-1B visa fraud vibes. It's giving fraud. Okay, this is also the woman who, remember, she seems to be besties with all of the people who are being charged with fraud in Minnesota. She just happens to know them. She's having her campaign events at their restaurants, and it turns out they weren't actually using the money they were getting from the government to do the things they said that they were going to do. You gotta wonder, was that money just going right back into Ilhan Omar's pocket? By the way, is anyone else concerned that a Muslim is part owner in a winery? I think that goes against your religion, Ilhan. Do you also have shares in a pork company? I wonder. Well, I hope that the powers that be will continue digging, because something stinks about everything about her, and it's not just the Somalian food that I'm talking about.